Hey guys, Troy here from Cask Robbery, here backstage getting ready for a show, and this is Viewer Takeover.
Viewer Takeover! That was almost like a military. You're like... No?
This is the Midnight Gamescast. We record every Tuesday afternoon at midnight, and then we bring it to YouTube every Wednesday as the weekly wrap-up. That was so long ago. I have no idea what we talked about.
Pen for your ear.
Pen for my ear, pen for my hand. No idea what we talked about on Viewer Takeover. That's this. Hold on, we're starting over again. Ready? Mark it, set, go. What's up? No, that's the wrong show. This is the Midnight Gamescast. We record every Tuesday afternoon at midnight, and then we bring it to YouTube every Wednesday. Nope. Yep, Nope. This is the Midnight Gamescast. We record every Tuesday afternoon at midnight, and then we bring it to YouTube every Wednesday as the weekly wrap-up. Man, that was so long ago.
It was long ago.
But what a good time we had.
Always.
And look, all of our friends are back.
They are back. Thank you.
They totally skipped PlayStation VR
back.
Theater.
No, they didn't.
Every Thursday is PlayStation VR Theater, and then every Friday, today, as Viewer Takeover, when we let you, the loyal game cats, let you take over the show. We've got to thank Troy Powell from Casket Robbery for that awesome Viewer Takeover introduction.
Thank you very much.
Backstage,
what show was he about to watch?
No, he's backstage preparing for a show.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming it was a Casket Robbery show.
Yeah.
Like his band.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can only assume. He's
Do
always
they
like,
steal caskets prior to the body being put in or after? I bet you it's after. If you need help, I can give you bodies to fill those caskets with.
Jesus.
So this is Troy's second time doing a Viewer Takeover introduction, and the thing is, I was like, we don't have any kind of rules about this. We didn't make any stipulations.
Yeah,
right?
There's no rules.
But that's the thing. So I think the rule is
like
you
Thunderdome.
can send as many as you want, but we're probably going to limit it to you're not going to see the same person more than once every 2 months.
Oh, we'll leave them in the backups just in case.
In the box, in the folder.
In the folder with all the cats.
All the kitties.
Oh,
Keep them separate.
It's an adorable folder, I promise you. Snuggles.
Yeah.
But Troy is obviously not the only person we want to thank. We also want to thank those people down there. Those down there are our loyal Patreon supporters. You can head on over to patreon.com/withoutparolegames and give us $1 a month if you want to support us in our dreams. You're making all of our dreams come true, $1 at a time. But Jeremy, what do the loyal Patreon supporters get for their $1 or more every month?
Well, each week we assume the role of host, and we talk about stuff that's mostly non-VR game related for like 2 minutes to whatever. We just like to share with you a little bit of ourselves, show your talent maybe. They've played some music before. Dez has done fencing. It's pretty awesome. It's just a way to show our appreciation.
You and I have both done some drawings.
And drawings, yes. Oh, yes. Yes, drawings.
Des has done some fencing.
Fencing.
Is that what you call it? You do fencing?
I like that he's like...
He fences.
He fences.
And
Yes.
salsa dances at the same time?
And salsa. I bet you he could.
I bet you
he could.
This is very talented. And
He
on
is very.
this week's episode of The Litter Box, Des did like an
Who's Des?
11-minute AMA.
AMA.
It's like AMA month around here. You guys asked a ton of awesome questions, and this month everyone's answering them.
Yep.
So, you know...
AMAM.
AMAM? Oh, Ask Me Anything month?
Yeah.
Nice, I like that.
Hey, there we go.
Yeah.
A ma'am.
A ma'am.
Amen. So make sure you give us $1 a month over on patreon.com/withoutparolegames, and you too can be part of the ever dirty litter box.
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for your support.
Thank you very much.
But this is Viewer Takeover, when we scour the videos for your comments and questions, and we choose our 6 roughly favorites.
Yeah, roughly.
And then we talk about them on the show, and it has very, very little to do with anything. And we apologize if we make fun of all of you.
Yeah,
That said,
they're good sports.
let's get the ball rolling with the very first question from Sunshine. Happy Fun Times. You can't get a better name than that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. This is from the Why We Love Skyrim VR episode that just went up this week.
Yesterday, right? Oh, wait, no.
Like 3 days ago.
Days ago.
Yeah. Sunshine Happy Fun Times wrote, "This community makes it feel like we are all going through this PSVR experience together. What an amazing moment in history that we will all remember forever." Just in case you're new to Viewer Takeover, my word processing program. It adds question marks where they don't belong.
Time we've mentioned ducks.
Send your duck.
Adds question marks where they don't belong, and we read them like that because you guys think it's funny. So apologize. We're just making fun of you.
Yes.
I agree with Sunshine. Happy fun times. I feel like when the PlayStation VR came out, it was like a revolutionary moment in history, in video game history.
And then Skyrim came out.
Yeah.
And revolutionized.
Yes.
That can't be right.
No, it's not. It's revolutionized.
We are.
But also agreed.
Oh.
Rock, paper, scissors. Haha.
Oh, shit. She's right.
Yeah, she's right. You always do
Fuck.
rock, scissors.
Yeah.
It's over.
I won't the next
See,
time.
it's easy to commentate when you're not playing the game.
I didn't even slap you.
See, now let her do it over and over, and let's see her not use rock every fucking time now.
Where we also play rock, paper, scissors, slap every time there's a siren. Also,
It was a soft.
thanks for watching.
Soft
It was.
slap.
It was just like a dude.
That's nice. Thank you.
I'm glad
So
you
I
enjoyed
totally feel like that this is a thing. This is a monumentous event. I think we're all going to look back at PlayStation VR specifically when it comes to like VR history. Like Oculus and Vive are doing their things on PC.
Yeah.
And if you happen to like use those, good on you.
Yeah.
But PlayStation VR is the leader in sales. It's the most convenient to use. You have to sit back on your couch. It's like the whole thing is great.
Yeah.
And I think, and we're going through this thing together as members of this community. We're all learning things together.
Yep.
And I mean, just learning how to move around in VR with move controllers with no analog sticks. Sign the petition. It's something that takes some time, but it's also this amazing journey that we're on.
Yeah. Well, you think this channel existed, and then VR came out, and it totally changed the channel
like,
from there
hey,
on. You know,
it
and
did.
a lot of the viewers, and,
Instantaneously.
subscribers were there.
Yeah.
And are still. So yeah, it is pretty neat.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Thank you guys for being part of our community and tuning in to this ridiculous show that we do.
Yes.
All right, Jeremy, you're up, Asia.
Yay.
We're not a nation
Or
anymore.
actually, in this case, Portugal.
Indeed.
Yes.
Good luck.
Good luck.
All right. I don't want to say it in an insulting way. I don't want to make fun of
But that's why
Portugal.
I gave you the question.
Zikalos. Why we love
I don't
Skyrim VR. I am. How can it be? I am from Portugal. O Yogo no VR mesmo com as suas litamakeos está fantástico.
Can we just stop him?
Maybe.
It's painful.
I think so.
Well-
Oh, I thought I was
painful.
doing great.
Yeah, no.
Do you want me to read it more Portuguese like?
Oh God, is it gonna get
Quem
worse?
tem via saber que
No.
voit
Okay, no.
sempre- That's more French.
No.
That was very French.
Sempre- I'm a French person speaking Portuguese.
Oh my gosh.
Sempre der downgrade. E.
He's like, I know that one.
Estu e ador em estar.
Brian, you put this.
Centro de so mundo.
Listen, when the comments
Well,
come through in
as
another
well,
language,
Hello, Fallout 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
yeah, it's fair. Yeah.
4?
Thank you for adding the question mark. That was super important. After
How
all
would you
that.
have done it?
Yeah. Well, I've taken 5 years of Spanish, so maybe slightly different. But
I've done 0 years of Spanish. Can you tell?
It was more fun than me doing it, that's for sure.
I know Cogero Suave.
But what Zé Carlos is saying is that he understands that there's obviously going to be a downgrade when it comes to graphics in VR.
Yeah.
And that he's enjoying Skyrim VR anyway. He absolutely loves it.
Thank you for translating.
Oh yeah, yeah, you got it. And it's understandable the downgrade. Now he's super excited for Fallout 4, obviously.
Yeah.
Cool.
And we want to say we 100% agree with you. This is people talk about the graphical downgrade of PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
And as if it's like a downside, right? So Des and I were talking about why the younger audience hasn't really adopted PlayStation VR, and I think it's for this reason, right? I think younger audience doesn't have the money for it.
Yeah.
Right? B, everything's portable. Like they want something they can have in their hand, put it in their pocket. Suddenly this thing that not only do you put on your face and has wires attached to it that you're stuck in your living room with, it's not what they're looking for, right? Like that's why like a lot of younger gamers are like mobile gamers, and then just on top of all of that, there's this big graphical downgrade. Right, you drop into Skyrim on an OG PS4, and it's like playing a pretty good-looking PlayStation 2 game.
Crap rim.
Right? It looks rough. It looks rough until you play it for a while.
But still, it's still great. You just accept it.
Well, you play it for a while and you stop thinking about the graphics.
Yes.
Right, because even if it's a rough around the edges looking world, you're inside of that world.
Yeah, it's crazy.
In Skyrim, the world is so big.
Yeah.
So you forget about it eventually. But I think the younger audience, they're
Hard
not
to
able
get
to
over.
do it.
Yeah.
And they also didn't grow up with N64. PlayStation 1,
Yeah.
PlayStation 2. You know, like they start playing video games at 720p.
Like Xbox
Yeah.
360 was
Right.
their first, I bet.
It was the first thing. So so suddenly they put this
Not
thing on,
Atari.
and it's
That's crazy.
graphics that they'd never even seen before.
Yeah.
It's the worst thing they've ever seen.
Yeah.
So when people are like, you know, just basically shitting on the graphics, because they never
so crazy to
experienced
think
it.
of like that. Yeah.
People have never experienced it.
Yeah.
So so that's it. I think that's the reason a lot of younger people haven't played it. And so Zé Carlos obviously has experienced, you know, these type of graphics in the past.
Yeah.
You know, you grew up playing these games.
Right.
Suddenly it's kind of a throwback. You're like, okay, you know, I'm playing something from 2 generations ago or
Yeah.
1 generation ago. But at least I get to be inside the world, and that immersion trumps everything.
Yeah.
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 Yep.
All right. Thank you for your preguntas,
Yes.
Zé
And your
Carlos.
what he
and
said.
your patience with Jeremy.
Thank you. I thought it was... All right.
I thought it was gonna
I'll have
be-
to re-see it
I thought
later.
it was going to be funny. I don't know. I'll find out if it has to be edited out.
Yeah.
It'll just be your voice. It'll be you reading it with my voiceover.
Yeah. Cool. Hello, somos, and do whatever you do in Spanish. I wouldn't know how you would say that.
I don't know. It took 5 years, like 20 years ago. I probably don't know Spanish anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Michelle.
Jay Dow. What up, Jay?
Yo.
From Viewer Takeover. Hashtag Viewer Takeover.
That's got to be a
It's a
thing.
thing, huh?
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
I'm extremely excited about Titanic VR experience coming to PSVR because the sinking of the RMS Titanic is a historical event which I've always been fascinated with. Is there any particular historical event that you guys would love to have a great PSVR experience of? Sorry. Didn't really do the question mark right.
Too
Right.
bad you couldn't experience the Titanic recreated going down while you were on it.
Is that not what this thing does?
I'd go to Rome.
Oh, does it?
I don't know.
I thought it was an underwater exploration of the Titanic.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
It would be cool to like live the movie Titanic with
crap-
Leonardo DiCaprio in VR, right? and be able to check it out like in its full glory, and then go make out with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Make love to him in
and
the
then-
back of that
Yeah.
car.
and then go down with the ship, float on a door for a while.
Yeah. Freeze your ass
I'll
off while
never
she
let
fucking
go,
lays
but
there.
I'm letting go.
Yeah, fucking losers. what does RMS stand for? Real mighty ship.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody knows. I
Yeah.
apologize.
So,
Sure,
what
it's pretty
historical
well
events would you like to see?
You know, why is it?
I think Rome would be really, really neat.
The Heisenberg going... what was it going down? Not Heisenberg. Hindenburg.
Yeah, that's it.
I had too much
The
Walter White
Hindenburg.
on my head.
Yep.
Good. Yep.
Yeah.
Why is the first thing that comes to mind? And now that it's in my mind, I can't get it out. I was like, I want to see the Holocaust firsthand. I was like,
Oh.
but that's horrible, right? Like
That
that's
is horrible.
but that's like, man, like. I don't think it would be fun. It wouldn't be fun.
You think history
No,
classes
it'd
are going to
be
be
so heavy.
VRs eventually in the future?
In the far future.
But that's
in
the thing.
the
Is like,
far
Next Sunday
future?
AD, there was
In
a
the-
guy named Joel, not too distant from you or me. Mr. Science Theater.
oh, there you
3000.
go. No, I did well without the beat and without dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 dun.
I was doing the
Yeah.
dry
Yeah.
verbal rendition.
I didn't have it. Yeah, I don't.
Because how cool would that be?
What?
Teaching history class like at school, but with
Oh, it'd probably be
with VR.
awesome.
It would be amazing.
Yeah, if
it
the
would really
classroom was
give you an
around you.
idea of what.
Remember they used to say when we were kids, make the classroom come alive, and it was a fucking projector, and you just watch TV.
Yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
now it could really come alive.
Now it
like-
would really come alive. Dinosaurs.
Do you think
Yeah.
don't you think we were experiencing like the same when we were talking about like VR theaters last week?
Yep.
Yeah, thank you. When we were talking about that last week and talking about like the difficulty with like dealing with like germs and bacteria and like all this stuff that
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you would have like even
Well,
worse.
now
in a
you bring your
school.
own
Instead of your
VR
laptop,
instead
you got
of
your
your
VR
laptop.
headset.
Yeah, you're with me on that one, yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
by that time there'll be that
And it'll be
fucking
portable, I mean,
Minority
you don't have
Report
to-
reference.
no
There'll be that
wires.
Minority Report type of keyboard.
And it'll
shit
be
going
much
on.
smaller too. It'll be
Totally.
cooler. It'll be like. Whoosh.
I think,
Or
They're just like
implanted.
sunglasses.
Totally implanted.
You know those sunglasses
Like
you
Google
get when
Glass.
you
yeah,
when you get your eyes
like
checked.
the dude from Deus Ex wears.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and
Oakleys.
I think that probably makes sense. I think it's something like along the lines of like Google Glass with
Yeah.
With augmented reality.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think that's probably where schools would be more likely to go.
Set your
happened.
set your
I was just-
iWatch to
You remember the movie The Last Starfighter, correct? This is one quick little thing.
Sure.
I'll never forget in the movie The Last Starfighter. Remember where you've seen it?
Yeah, I mean, a long time ago. Yeah.
At the end, with the enemy, he like churns, and it was something climactic where they're about to blow up, and he goes, "We die," right? And then it was that like he had like this little plastic thing that was right here, and it was like, pew, and it came over his eye. But do you remember even the actor kind of blinked a little bit in that like crazy makeup thing? Watch that segment, and then you'll see what I'm talking about.
When he took off his glasses, he went from being like Clark Kent to Superman, and I was like, I don't even recognize him.
Who are you?
But yeah, I'll never forget that moment. That's all.
Yeah.
Last
Europe, Asia?
About 1 hour and 28 minutes in.
Right. Next up, Dirty Dog Gaming wrote on Why We Love Skyrim VR. He wrote, I was playing Skyrim with Move controllers. My cousin was there. We were having a blast. I was swinging my virtual swords for hours. When I took off my headset, my cousin was gone. And on the couch was a dead 15-year-old runaway cheerleader. I don't know how she got there, I swear. I've been set up. Please help me. Oh, God, I can't go to jail. Oh, God, I'm so fucked. Where is my cousin gone? I tried moving the body. That's how her blood got in the car. Oh, God, my battery went flat while driving to the hospital, and I had to pop the hood. That's how her blood got all over the grill. Please help me. Fuck, help me, please. I can't wait to play more Skyrim VR, though.
Huh. I see the flaw in his story. He's guilty. He killed her. Because his battery went flat. Batteries can't go flat.
What a good detective you are.
Thanks. Yes. Anyways, how can we help him?
Well, this seems to be this seems to be a problem. If my experience and Dirty Dog Gaming's experience are indicative of like all of Skyrim VR gamers out there, then this is happening all over the place. Just like 15-year-old dead cheerleaders like just showing up like in living rooms nationwide. So call the hotline down below. It's 1-800 dead cheerleader. And they can
save the cheerleader.
They can
save
assist
the
you.
world.
They can assist you in your plight. I called them and they helped me. Next week though, I will be going by a different name.
The cleaners.
You are up, Asia. Jeremy.
That's me, and in this case, yeah, probably Asia. Azora High Superfly.
That's a good name too.
Yeah.
Nice.
From Viewer Takeover. Mine's like just my name. You know, it's like stupid. Anyways.
Is your name stupid?
Some days, yes. I love you, Brian, but could you please shut up about how much better Skyrim is on the Pro?
Most of my senses.
Oh shit,
do
too
start
late.
to. I love you. Can you shut up?
I'm still paying off my OG PS4 and headset. I don't have a 4K TV, and I can't spend another $400. I enjoyed Skyrim a lot, but when I think about it could have been how it could look better, it kind of bums me out.
Yeah, it is definitely a bummer.
Yeah,
A big bummer.
it's a little bit of a bummer.
Doing the live stream at your house and it being just epic and awesome, and then going home and being like, oh,
Yeah, I get
Okay.
this. I get this one. This
Okay.
is my version to play with.
whatever, Brian.
Yeah. I mean, I want you guys to remember that, like, for the last year, I've been the guy saying the same thing over and over. You don't need a PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've said it constantly. I've been like, yeah, the improvements are subtle.
Yeah.
You know, like, unless you're really looking for them, you'll never notice them. Once you get into a game, even if it looks rough around the edges at the beginning, you forget about it. You know, by the time you're, midway or whatever, like an hour in, you just don't even think about graphics anymore because you're too busy, like, shooting giant spiders with your aim controller, or you're waiting for, like, or hiding from Jack in like, in the Resident Evil 7 house. And, like, these are the kind of things that, like, the immersion takes over and you forget about, some rough looking graphics. So don't worry, man. Like, don't worry about not having a Pro. But since I said it over and over and over again for a year, and only made mention of, I think Starblood Arena was a big one for me, where I was like, ooh, it seems extra depthy, like it has extra depth, has extra 3D. You drop into it and you're like, oh, this feels more like a immersive world than like just 3D graphics.
Yeah.
That one was a big one for me. And then just this week, obviously, besides Skyrim, was Monster of the Deep, which was like ridiculously different.
Yeah.
So it would be like disingenuous of me to say for a year, you don't need a Pro, and then for these
you're like,
two,
by the way,
these two big games came out within the course of a week of each other, and I'm like, guys, I hate
At
to
least
say
you started
this.
saying it around Black Friday.
Yeah, right? Well, you got to think, too. It's like DVDs and then Blu-rays came out. It's like you don't need a Blu-ray player. But I defy you now to go and watch a DVD. You'd be like, oh.
I actually watched a DVD the other day. It was totally fine.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
I just
saying
did
in
it.
that sense,
But,
where you now on a Pro, going back, you can't
Right.
lie and say there's no difference or you don't
Blu-ray
need
to
one.
like VHS would have been the
That's huge.
comparison,
Yeah,
probably.
A DVD from VHS, but still, even when that happened, it was more convenient
Yeah.
to go DVD.
Yeah, I think
You had to jump.
VHS tapes I didn't want to upgrade to DVDs from VHS tapes. I had a good.
Oh
It
my
took me
gosh.
quite a while
I
to have a
great-
collection.
Yeah, absolutely.
So inconvenient, those fuckers, you know?
Be kind. Rewind. You had to rewind VHS tapes before you brought them back to Blockbuster.
Oh,
Or they'd
yeah.
charge you.
Oh, yeah, totally.
So
charge it.
ridiculous.
Rewind, yeah.
And like you had to get like a separate thing to rewind your tapes for you.
Yeah, you had that whole separate
I
thing.
didn't have
Usually
a
it was
separate
shaped
thing
like
to
a
rewind
car.
You didn't have to have one, but like most people had one.
I had a Mitsubishi VHS player that rewound and fast forward whole movies in 30 seconds. That was like the. It was like
Wow,
yeah, they
you're
would set it like on the
fancy.
box. Yeah, lasted
The
me
king
like.
of all VHS.
I just threw it away when I
Seriously.
moved. I had it stored forever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. Yeah.
I bought it when I was 19.
Also, I don't have a 4K TV, so
neither.
I'm now endorsing the Pro just for VR use. That's it. So if that helps your decision at all, I'm sorry that you're still paying off your OG PS4, but
Yeah.
it's probably time to upgrade. I hate saying that to anybody. I don't want to make anyone spend any more money than they already need to, but it's time.
Yeah.
This is. I think we've got a couple
Yeah.
more years left
Yeah.
in the current model of the PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
And these are indications. Monster of the
What?
Deep should have looked so much better, and hopefully Square will patch it to make it look better. But the Pro is the way to do it.
Yeah. Shit.
All right, who's up?
Shit.
That one.
Me.
All right, go for it.
Beauty in the Decay. Ooh. From Viewer Takeover. Hi.
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 Beauty
Hey,
in the
Brian.
Decay.
It's Matt here.
I mean, hey Matt.
Hey, Matt.
There you go. Your amazing game collection and epic backdrop for the show.
Yes. No.
Just had to look at that real quick. Has been mentioned many times in various videos, and quite rightly so,
Yes.
as it's super impressive. But as an avid collector myself, mainly of Lego minifigures, awesome,
Nice.
comics, and super Sonico figures, Sonico. I am curious, do you, Michelle or Jeremy, have any other collections you've grown attached to over the years? P.S. Your channel is now becoming like a second home. Yay! The energy and charm you guys put into every video is awesome, and eagerly awaiting your next upload has now become part of my daily routine. Gamecats for life!
Peace.
Can that be our new slogan?
Meow, 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 meow.
Wow, I used to collect Legos. That was fun. The Star Wars stuff, but that's so expensive.
Oh, you did? Oh, yeah. Now I
Yeah,
the
I
Legos
just
are
like building them.
wicked
They were so
expensive.
much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, what do you collect?
I've been known to collect video games
This
here
game
and there.
wasn't. This question wasn't directed towards him.
No. Do you have any other things you collect? Hummel figures or anything?
No.
Scarves?
What do you mean?
No,
He said, I am
for-
curious. Do you, Michelle, or Jeremy? Who's he referencing when he says
Oh,
you?
I guess so.
No, but by all means.
Well, I was.
Scarves?
Yeah, I mean, you seem like a handkerchief. Do you collect
Oh,
handkerchiefs?
Jesus, bandanas.
Bandanas.
I guess bandanas.
Bandanas.
Sure.
Do-rags.
Yep, I do have
Do-rags. Drug rugs?
no
Drug-
yeah,
do
drug
rags.
What's another word for bandana? Handkerchief.
Handkerchief. Yes.
Bandana.
Yeah.
Tick comic books.
Tick, like the Tick? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I used to
Very
like the Tick.
specific.
I have so many. I don't know what to do with them all now.
You reminded me, and Joe Monahan, a couple weeks back, reminded me of, Calvin and Hobbes collection books.
Nice.
I have had them back to when they first came
Yeah.
out. I've got a stack of them, and I went back because of his comment and to look
this
for them.
many. It's insane.
I
I
used to
wonder how
collect
many I really
those.
have.
Besides video games, for a long time I collected comic books. I used to. There's a store where I grew up in Spencer called Lost Frontier. And I don't know if it exists anymore. Lost Frontier, probably the Last Frontier. This is a Star Trek reference, right? Makes sense.
That would make more sense.
Makes more sense. But it's super small. It was like the whole place was like smaller than my apartment. And I remember the guy Scott who worked there, and he was so very much comic book store guy from The Simpsons. Right? He like in almost every regard he was like
Really?
the personification of that dude. And it was hilarious, for all the good reasons. Like, maybe, I don't know, that maybe it sounds like an insult, but it was
Knew everything about everything in
Right.
every bit of order that shit should be in, like that type of
I
stuff.
think that's awesome.
yeah, absolutely. Like you go and you ask him,
Like, excuse me, no, that came out after this, because remember when this happened and that?
yeah, he was always good, super nice guy,
Page
very good for
34.
recommendations. And he helped me like when I think it was like right before the death of Superman happened. man, I'm just guessing years now, back in like 96 or something. That's when I started collecting comics, and I loved it, right?
Yeah.
And it became, but it became very quickly an obsession, as all of my collecting does. And so it's like, not just buying the comic and reading it, but it was like, okay, make sure you put it into the plastic bag, put the cardboard backing
I'll
in,
seal it up.
and make sure you take good care of it. And
My Walking Dead's still all in the plastic too.
But for me, like that, eventually that ruined my enjoyment of the collecting, right?
Yeah.
Because I, instead of being like super excited to read the next story, I wanted to get the next one to add it to the collection.
Yeah.
And there are books. I went back to comic book collecting recently, within the last few years, and I'd go down to the other local comic book store we have, That's Entertainment, which is like so much bigger.
Yeah.
And that's the problem I had with it. I would go in and I'd be like, oh, I need the next issue of this. I need the next issue of this. I need the next issue of this. And I'd walk out of there with like $100 of comic books, and then put them all.
Would you read them all?
Put them all in the bags and the backs, and then they
storm away.
I probably have $300 worth of comic books that I never read. Because
that's a bummer. You gotta read them.
Well, and that's why I stopped. That's why I was like, you know what, this hobby isn't working for me anymore. Yeah. Because I'm not getting the enjoyment out of it. I'm just doing the collecting, not the enjoyment part. Yeah. That's why all these games, every single one of these games I played, and I have a memory of each and every single one of them. They're not just on the wall because they're cool or they look whatever. Yeah. Actually, some of them don't even look cool. But so that's where like collecting works for me, is like when you actually enjoy the product, you enjoy the thing, and it's a collection,
and it is, yes,
so that's kind of it for me. Cool. Matt, we want to thank you for your love of the channel. We want to thank you for tuning in. I said, and that's going to be our last one too, because we're running low on time. We've said before, like, if anyone ever, I remember like the early days of this channel where I was like, if one person out there, if we become part of somebody's life for one person out there, we've done exactly what I set out to do. Yeah. Right? I've influenced somebody's life in the same way that the reason I started a podcast was because I loved all the ones that I was into, and they affected my life in a huge, huge way. And so the fact that we're reaching more than just one person out there is mind-blowing. Awesome. Thank you guys for being part of this whole thing. It's awesome. We love you all.
And they're such a part of our lives. Reading their comments, we know their names, you know what I mean? It's crazy. It is
Game Cats
crazy,
for life.
That's right. Right. All right, that said, this has been another episode of the Midnight Gamescast. Make sure you come back next week for another episode when we do the same thing we did this week, but with different words.
A little different.
A little bit different. A little bit different. Michelle will have more baby in her. A little more bit put together.
Not more baby.
More of the baby.
Joy. Always,
yes, and
Michelle.
I know why.
This is Brian. That's Jeremy, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I saw a fucking bear. I didn't mean to hit you. I saw a fucking bear.
I saw a fucking bear. What? What just happened?